Hey everyone, I'm Jyotsna. I'm back with the third video of video series Materials, Metals and Non-Metals. In this video, we will do different reactions of metals and non-metals. In previous two videos, we have covered physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Now see how metals react with water. Metals reaction with water. And we already done metal reaction with oxygen. Generally, metals react with water to give out metal oxide along with hydrogen gas. See, this is metal react with water. It gives us metal oxide and release hydrogen gas. ठीक है? Now, metal oxide further react with water and gives us metal hydroxide. Metal oxide. Now, metal oxide react with water. This metal oxide again react with water and gives us metal hydroxide. So finally, by the end of the reaction, we get metal hydroxide. But it is not compulsory that all metals react with water. It is not necessary that all metals react with water. Some metals react in a normal water, some react with hot water, some react with steam. Steam means boiling water, and some do not react at all. Uh, इसे हम क्लियर करते हैं with few examples. See, first example is sodium. The symbol of sodium is Na plus H2O. Sodium is highly reactive metal. It is so vigorous. इतना ज़्यादा vigorous होता है कि we have to handle it with extra care. When the sodium is kept in laboratory, it is kept with extra care. So it react with oxygen. When it come in contact with oxygen, it generate heat and energy, and it catch fire. When somehow it come in contact with moisture, then again it catch fire. So we need extra care to keep it. तो सोडियम को हम रखते हैं in oil or in kerosene because there is no water, there is no oxygen. That's why we keep the sodium in um, oil or in kerosene. And same, potassium is also very aggressive, very uh, reactive metal. So we keep this also in kerosene or any oil. See, sodium. When sodium react with water, aqueous, that means liquid है ये, in cold water or in normal water. Water is cold. Then it gives us sodium hydroxide and it release hydrogen gas and it gives out heat and energy. ये heat and energy इतनी ज़्यादा strong होती है कि it come in contact with hydrogen and it may produce fire. It can catch fire. कि जब ये हाइड्रोजन से अगर कांटेक्ट में आ गई हीट और एनर्जी तो क्या होगा इसमें फायर कैच कर सकती है. तो हम जब भी सोडियम की रिएक्शन करते हैं तो वी शुड टेक एक्स्ट्रा केयर. Now see potassium. Potassium is, as I told, it is very reactive, and when it come in contact, yeah, it will react with water. It gives us potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas, and it release heat and energy. Again, अगर हाइड्रोजन हीट और एनर्जी के कांटेक्ट में ज्यादा आ जाती है तो it may catch fire. Next example is calcium. See how calcium react with water. Reaction with calcium. The symbol of calcium is Ca. Calcium react with water, uh, gives us calcium hydroxide and release hydrogen gas. This reaction is not as violent as sodium and potassium. ये रिएक्शन पोटेशियम एंड सोडियम की तरह ज्यादा विग्रस नहीं होती है. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल इज रिएक्शन विद मैग्नीशियम Mg. जो मैग्नीशियम के साथ हम वाटर की रिएक्शन कराते हैं तो इट डजंट रिएक्ट विद नॉर्मल वाटर और कोल्ड वाटर, इट रिएक्ट विद hot water. That's why we put hot water instead of cold water, then reaction take place. See, magnesium plus water, this is hot water, gives us magnesium hydroxide. Balance कर लेते हैं हम equation को, because there is H2O, there is O2 है और इसको हम बैलेंस करेंगे 2 mg OH of whole twice magnesium hydroxide. We put 2 here and 2 here, it is balanced now. Now, take the example of aluminium and iron. Reaction with aluminium and iron. Now see how aluminium and iron react with water. They do not react with cold water. They do not react with hot water. They react with steam. Steam means gaseous form of water, that is boiling water. Instead of taking hot or cold water, we take steam. This is aluminium. See how aluminium react with steam. Aluminium react with steam. This is a gaseous form of water. Gaseous form of water gives us aluminium oxide and it release hydrogen gas. Same iron. Iron react with steam. This is also a steam, gaseous form of water, and gives us iron oxide and release hydrogen gas. Now see reaction of lead, copper, silver and gold with water. They do not react with water at all. ये चारों ही जो मेटल्स हैं वो वाटर के साथ कोई रिएक्शन नहीं करते हैं. On the conclusion, it depends one metal to another. कि depend करता है metal to metal. Some metals are very vigorous. They react very fast with water. Some react with cold water. Some react with hot water. Some react with steam, and some do not react at all. So on the basis we have learned what we have learned. Take a look. Sodium and potassium are very vigorous. They react with cold water and they produce heat and energy, and sometimes it may catch fire. Now next is calcium. Calcium is less violent. It reacts with cold water. Magnesium. Magnesium do not react with cold water. It reacts with hot water. Next है aluminium and iron. They do not react with cold water or hot water. Instead of cold and hot water, it reacts with steam. Lead, copper, silver and gold do not react with uh, hot, cold water, any form of water. They do not react. So the conclusion is that metals are varies in their reactivity with the same substances. कि वो सेम सब्सटेंस के साथ डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रिएक्शन परफॉर्म करते हैं. नाउ सी नॉन मेटल्स रिएक्शन विद वाटर. नॉन मेटल्स रिएक्शन विद वाटर. You will surprised to know that non-metals do not react with water. Non-metals do not react with water. Example है sulfur, nitrogen, carbon, etc. Any non-metal do not react with water. In fact, those metals which are very reactive with oxygen, which are highly reactive with oxygen, example है phosphorus. Whenever phosphorus is exposed to air, it is highly reactive. It can catch fire. At the same time, it doesn't react with water. Therefore, phosphorus is stored in water. जबकि फास्फोरस एयर के साथ कांटेक्ट में आते ही फायर कैच कर लेता है, बट whenever it come in contact with water, it do not react at all. That's why to store phosphorus we use water. Now see how metal react with um, acids. This is third one. Metal reaction with acids. Different metals react with different acids differently. जो different metals होते हैं वो different acids के साथ differently ही reaction करते हैं. See example, dilute hydrochloric acid. How dilute hydrochloric acid react with water, with metal. Metal plus dilute HCl gives us salt and release hydrogen gas. Metal example is magnesium. Magnesium react with dilute HCl gives us magnesium chloride, and along with that it release hydrogen gas. This is magnesium chloride. Chloride, right? Now the next um, acid is aqua regia. Aqua regia is a Latin word that means royal water. Is a mixture of uh, concentrated hydrochloric acid, that means concentrated HCl, and concentrated nitric acid HNO3 in the ratio of 3 is to 1. Now see how it works. Aqua regia is a highly corrosive. Corrosive means it is highly corrosive, that it can dissolve even solid materials. Highly corrosive in nature that it can dissolve even metals like gold and platinum. This is gold, Au plus HNO3 plus HCl, and this is aqua regia in the ratio of 3 is to 1, and gives out gold chloride AuCl4 plus NO3 plus H3O plus water. When we give our gold jewelry for polishing to the shop, what they actually do, they they dissolve gold into aqua regia, and the upper layer of the jewelry uh, take down, and the below layer emerged, and that layer below layer is always shiny because it is not exposed till now, and the when it comes out, then that it is done, the polishing of jewelry is done, and you will observe that after polishing the weight of the jewelry is reduced a little bit because the upper layer of the jewelry is come down, okay, take down by aqua regia. And next acid that react with metal is nitric acid. Nitric acid is strong oxidizing agent that it can oxidize anything. ये बहुत ही ज्यादा ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट होता है कि इट कैन ऑक्सीडाइज एनीथिंग, किसी चीज को भी ऑक्सीडाइज कर सकता है. व्हेन मेटल्स रिएक्ट with nitric acid, what they do, they reduce hydrogen ion to form hydrogen gas. So that is how hydrogen gas is formed during the reaction. First we take dilute HNO3, magnesium plus dilute HNO3 gives us magnesium nitrate MgNO3 का whole twice, plus it release hydrogen gas. Now we will take moderate HNO3. Moderate HNO3 means neither dilute or nor concentrated. So it is a little bit concentrated than dilute HNO3. So it when it reacts with magnesium, it gives us magnesium nitrate plus nitrous oxide plus water. Now what they do, when a little bit concentrated HNO3 is used in this reaction, what they do, they don't give out hydrogen. It forms water, and in the place of nitrogen oxide, it gives us nitrous oxide. Now, next we will take concentrated HNO3, third part. Magnesium plus HNO3 gives us magnesium nitrate plus 2 NO2, that means nitrogen dioxide plus water. What we observe in all three reactions, uh, in these three reactions, that concentration of HNO3 increases. As the concentration of HNO3 increases, the oxidizing effect of nitric acid is also increases. जैसे जैसे HNO3 का concentration increase होगा, जो oxidizing effect है of nitric acid वो भी increase होगा. But it doesn't mean कि जितने भी metals हैं, other metals हैं, they will react in a same way. They react differently. Even some do not react with HNO3. There are certain metals that do not react with dilute HNO3, dilute nitric acid, but they react with concentrated nitric acid because concentrated nitric acid is better oxidizing agent. Uh, Example है copper. Copper doesn't react with dilute HNO3, but it reacts with concentrated HNO3 because it is a better oxidizing agent and it oxidizes copper into copper ions. See how copper plus concentrated HNO3, it gives out copper ions plus 2NO2 plus water. Magnesium and manganese doesn't it react with dilute HNO3, with moderate HNO3 and with concentrated HNO3. It reacts with all the forms of the nitric acid. Some metals do not react with even concentrated nitric acid. Example है zinc and aluminium. They do not react even with concentrated nitric acid. So this all reactions show that different metals have different reactivity with different forms of the nitric acid. Now it is clear. Now see how non-metals react with acids. Non-metals generally do not react with acids. Under certain special conditions, they react with acids. Fine. Now see metals reaction with bases. Few characteristics of bases are they are soapy in touch and they are um, bitter in taste. Examples are sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and soda. These are few examples of bases. Metals react with bases to produce हाइड्रोजन गैस. जब भी metals bases से reaction करेंगे हाइड्रोजन गैस produce होगी. When metals react with base, it gives out salt or base or metal plus hydrogen gas. We have taken the example of metal is zinc. Zinc react with sodium hydroxide, gives out sodium zincate Na2ZnO3 plus release hydrogen gas. When hydrogen gas is produced, it shows that metal has reacted with base. Now, example of metal we have taken as aluminium. Aluminium reacts with sodium hydroxide plus water, gives us sodium aluminate plus hydrogen gas. Non-metals reaction with bases. Non-metals reaction with bases is complex. It doesn't react with bases directly. The oxides of non-metals react with bases. Non-metal oxide plus base gives us salt and water. We have taken the oxide of non-metal, that is carbon dioxide, react with this, gives us sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus water. Now, again, we have taken carbon dioxide plus calcium hydroxide, gives us calcium carbonate salt plus water. Displacement reaction. Displacement reaction give better evidence to know the reactivity of metals because some metals do not react with water. Some react vigorously with water. Some metals react with oxygen and some do not react with oxygen. So it is difficult to know which is more reactive, which metal is more reactive. So it is it help us, displacement reaction help us to know uh, more about the reactivity of the metals. Example, copper and iron. Copper and iron, which is more reactive? It is difficult to give such answers because the reaction of these metals are different with um, different substances. Like example, copper react with water, or it might not be react with iron. Water do not might not be react with iron, so it is difficult to answer such type of question. So we have what we do, uh, uh, displacement reaction help to know better the reactivity of the metals. We have taken copper sulfate. It is a blue color solution. We put an iron nail in the solution of copper sulfate. What we get, the color of the solution become colorless. It fade out and gives us iron sulfate and copper. This show that iron is more reactive than copper, and it displays copper and gives us iron sulfate, and it displays copper. Now see, copper sulfate, again a blue color solution. We take a blue color solution in a beaker of copper sulfate and put a piece of zinc in that. What we find? We find zinc sulfate, and the color of solution becomes fade out and gives us and it remove it displays copper and gives us zinc sulfate. It again shows that zinc is more reactive than copper. To prove this, what we do, we will take this solution now, zinc sulfate solution, and we put a piece of copper in this. What we see, there is no reaction, and the color of the solution will not change. So it proves that copper is less reactive, than zinc, and which metal is less reactive is not able to displace the more reactive metal. क्लियर? तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन से क्या शो होता है, एक तो हमें पता चलता है विच मेटल इज मोर रिएक्टिव, एंड which metal is more reactive is able to displace less reactive metal, and less reactive metal is not able to displace the more reactive metal. Is it clear? Uses of metals and non-metals. Now we all are able to guess why metals are used in automobiles, machineries, factories, trains, aeroplanes, cooking utensils, etc. And we are also familiar with the uses of non-metals. Here are some interesting ones. See, non-metal is essential for our life, which all living beings inhale during breathing. That is oxygen. When we inhale, we take in oxygen, and carbon dioxide is also taken by plants. Next, non-metal are used in fertilizers to enhance the growth of plant. That is nitrogen. Nitrogen is used as a fertilizer. Non-metals are used in water purification process. That is chlorine. Chlorine is used for water purification. Now, non-metals are also used in purple colored solution which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. That is iodine. Iodine is present in all the antiseptics. And next is non-metal. Non-metal is used in crackers also. So now we have completed this chapter. In next video, we will do question answers and that exercise of this chapter. If you are having any queries, please write in the comment box. I will definitely answer. Till then, bye bye. Take care.